Over the summer months, and certainly the spring and into the summer, nature takes its course and the birds want to nest and things like that. So chimneys are very vulnerable in terms of nesting birds. So they like to get in there, they'll set their nests up, the chimney becomes blocked, you're not aware they've been in there, and then you go to light your fire, the gases can't escape, and at some point the fire either goes up into the chimney and catches the bird's nest, and then it sets fire to the soots and the tars that are up there, or you get a bit of degradation through the year with mortar falling out because of climatic changes, and then you get gaps in the chimney breast. So when we get to this time of year, we really are recommending that people get their chimneys swept and inspected by appropriate experts, and then at least you know that if there is mortar missing, then the expert will pick it up and refer it to you to get a builder in place. Alternatively, if you get a chimney sweep in and they do the job, they'll take all that soot and all the tar away from last year, and those are the potential ignition sources for this year. One of the issues, particularly in a rural county like Dorset, is people very often try and go out and pick their own wood. And green wood is, well, as we term it, is quite dangerous because it's not dry. It throws a lot of tar up into the air and up into that chimney, and that tar then condenses on the side of the chimney stack, and then the soot starts to get trapped. And as I said earlier, that's where we start getting the ignition problems up in the chimney stacks.
We had a faulty chimney flue liner, and when I've seen what's gone back in, I can just see the comparison is just so different. It wasn't able to withstand the intense heat that comes off wood burners. It got overheated in the chimney, and basically the fire spread to the thatch underneath. And I know a lot of sort of similar instances where people just aren't aware that their house is starting to smoulder effectively, but that would have been what happened in our case. And the first time we were aware of it was we started to hear masonry falling. Actually, we thought it might have been somebody upstairs, so we went to go and check, but actually it was a lump of masonry falling into our fireplace. So that's how we knew. And I came outside and had a look at the chimney, and there was this popping coming out the chimney, little sparks. At that point I phoned the fire brigade because I've lived in a thatched house before, and I knew that was a chimney fire, so and they were with us quite shortly.
I think one of the biggest things is when people have the chimney lined. By line I mean, say, with a flexible metal liner inside the actual chimney flue. They think once one of those is fitted, they never need to have their chimney swept again. They think it's self-cleaning. Chimneys must be swept at least once a year if they're burning smokeless fuel or coal, and twice a year, if not more, if they're burning wood or bituminous type material. I'd liken it to, you take your car to the garage, you have an MOT, you know it has to be done every year, you park the car up, you go in, you leave it with them, they phone you later and say, we need to do this, we need to do that, it's £400. You go back, you pay the money, think nothing of it. When you ask people to have their chimney swept, they really don't seem to be very happy at spending the money. I would say having the chimney swept could prevent the house from burning down and possibly killing your family.
We do an awful lot of work with Dorset Fire and Rescue Service about putting smoke detectors in people's homes, but very rarely do people ever think about going beyond the room of origin or to the highest point on the landing and actually put one into the roof space. There's two arguments there. One is that if you've got a thatch property, you get a lot of dust potentially build up, and that can give you a couple of false alarms in the roof space. But similarly, if you're getting hot gases and an ignition source in a thatch roof, that smoke detector that's in the roof space might just give you those extra 30 seconds to start making a plan to get out of the building quickly. The key advice is very similar to what we do with all the community safety home safety checks. It's be prepared. It's make sure you've got working smoke alarms, make sure you've got a plan of escape if something does go wrong. But if you're going to start opening up fires that haven't been used for some time, and we're only talking a couple of months, actually get somebody in who knows what they're doing. Get a professional in the trade who will go and they'll do a physical inspection of the chimney, they'll sweep the chimney for you, they'll give you a certificate of competence at the end of it to say it's been done, and then actually you should be now as safe and as secure as you possibly can be. Don't be tempted to go into the local woods and pick up damp wood, because invariably that will have the loose tars in it that when it's heated they go up into the chimney, and then when you start burning paper and coal, all of that sticks to it. So if you've got a wood burner, burn wood. If you've got a coal fire, burn coal. Try not to mix the two together, but if you are going to, make sure they come from reputable places where the wood has been kiln dried and it's suitable for burning. So it's really trying now to make the public aware of some of the dangers, chimneys being swept, making sure fires are out at night before you go to bed, and then being aware you've got a working smoke alarm, things like that, just in case things do go wrong.
Well, I think a lot of people aren't aware that under their insurance policy they have to have their chimney swept at least once a year, and I think with some providers it's twice a year now, because there have been such a spate of thatch fires. And so people, I do know people around here who've got thatched houses, and I do think they did look at their own situation when it happened to us. But yeah, the advice would be, to make sure you get your chimney swept, to get it looked at, get the state of your. If you don't know what state your chimney's in, have it looked at, because a lot of people have had wood burners put in and to inappropriate flue liners, and that is really, really, really dangerous. So if you're not sure to get a chimney sweep, you can do that sort of survey to have a look at your chimney and see what state it's in.